the leading Africa's environmental guru. You have also had very brilliant ideas on how to redeem the national and continental economy, and you definitely have a sound plan. Nevertheless, your benevolent initiatives have generated faithful friend and fierce foe, fierce enemy in nearly equal measure. That was to be expected, because to the public, some of the redemptive ideas would be ahead of their time. Number 3, moreover, ever since independence, there has been systematic social economic decline in Africa, which has caused ever-rising unemployment, abject poverty, and widespread squalor and dereliction, among other chronic societal afflictions. Hence, naturally, many people would have the tendency to allocate blame for the pathetic situation to the government of the day. Number 4, it would be fantastic, sir, if you would announce in the year 2026, that is next year, that you would voluntarily exit the national presidential stage without vying in 2027. In such a best case scenario, Kenyans would literally hit two birds with one stone as follows. The first one, A, you would instantly mutate into being one of Africa's statesmen. B, as a leading Pan-Africanist, you would become available and best placed to proactively steer the continent in an interim role in the right direction in the fascinating journey to the beautiful destination of Federal Republic of Pan-Africa. C, you would overtake virtually all the prevailing controversial national issues. Furthermore, we would evade any national crisis or cruise to the brink of severe turbulence and social economic turmoil, and end future plans for mass actions and threats for legal battles at ICC would have been overtaken by events. Number 5, it is our strong belief that Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga would similarly become a statesman if he announced this year 2025 that he would actually exit the national active political stage at the end of December 2025. Owing to the fact that he has worked at AU between 2018 and 2023, and later vied for AU chair in February 2025, with your great support, Raila is therefore currently the most Africa-wise Kenyan. Therefore, he would be a wonderful asset in your arsenal for the newfound Federal Republic of Africa mission. Number 6, at your discretion, sir, you could steer clear of supporting any presidential candidate in 2027. But if for any greater national good, you decided to throw your massive weight behind a candidate, then he would surely win. Number 7, currently there are about half a dozen good national leaders that have shown interest in vying. They might range in rating from average to above average. But in all fairness, we could single out Mr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka as the senior most, and Mr. Rigathi Gachagua as the second senior most. Nonetheless, Rigathi has the necessary traits of bravery, aggressiveness, and forcefulness. Therefore, he would be quite useful in facilitating the vital national support base for your high-powered noble Federal Republic of Pan-Africa mission. Number 8, incidentally, we also believe that Rigathi Gachagua would make history as the second one-term president, that is between 2027 and 2032 in Kenya, as well as the last president, because with effect from 2032, our nation would become a constituent state to be administered by a governor within the new Federal Republic of Pan-Africa. In any case, the overarching aim of that second one-term presidency, 2027 to 2032, would be to make our nation spearhead the powerful airlift to FRPA, Federal Republic of Pan-Africa. Number 9, a valid question would be, why and what is Federal Republic of Pan-Africa? Invariably, precious viewer, ancient Egypt of the pharaohs, that was 4,000 years ago, between 4,000 years ago and 2,000 and 1,000 years ago, which was a black African society, was reality alpha of Western civilization. However, the kingdom and civilization began to systematically wane in 1250 BC in the era of Pharaoh Ramesses II as a result of introducing slavery into humanity. You have heard that in the Bible when they enslaved the Jews. And also as a result of the 10 plagues or the 10 severe afflictions that were executed by Moses as described in the book of Exodus. Actually, the final blow happened for the Africans at Passover, when the black African community, the people and all their livestock, lost all their firstborn in the 10th plague. Anyway, we believe now that Africa, in the form of Federal Republic of Pan-Africa, will be the Omega. Number 10. By the way, in the prevailing atmosphere of global capitalism, no single African country would ever succeed economically. No level of good national leadership and no amount of development partnership with the East or with the North or with the West would ameliorate the pathetic situation. It is all futile. Number 11, therefore, Federal Republic of Pan-Africa is a do or die affair. It is non-negotiable. Actually, it is panacea. What we may only discuss at this point is the modalities of establishing an interim leadership to spearhead the noble cause, and also the planning, coordination, and execution of the mission. In fact, the excellent leadership of a modern African state would be the one that embraced this wonderful idea of Pan-Africa and supported the pertinent mission. Number 12, in that regard, we believe that Your Excellency, along with Raila Odinga and Rigathi Gachagua, were divinely preordained to be the trio at the center stage of a redefined, reinvigorated, accelerated, and spectacular push towards Federal Republic of Pan-Africa. Conclusion, number 13. This petitioner has just completed writing a book entitled Federal Republic of Pan-Africa 2032, and the smaller title of that book is Economic Imperative to One Continental Nation. We shall publish this book especially for the audience of Africans in the continent and also Africans in diaspora. Over and above normal circulation, it would be wonderful if all the current African leaders received a copy. Number 14, we have attached to this petition a 16-page document containing the cover page of that book, the preface, the table of contents, and an extract from chapter 8 of the book. That attachment is meant for the president to read. Number 15, His Excellency the President is a valid and last port of call for our particular petition. The last section of that petition is entitled Prayers of the Petitioner. I will read through it. Wherefore, your humble petitioner prays that His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of Kenya, in the light of the great continental mission, considers the prevailing national, social, political intrigues and intricacies with a view to applying the relevant international laws, relevant provisions of the Constitution, and the laws of our country in order to consider actioning the following proposals. Number A, valiantly bolt out to pleasantly surprise the nation with the stunning news of retiring from Kenya's presidency in 2027. Number B, gradually articulate Pan-Africanism locally and internationally. Number C, eventually mobilize and deploy the required national and continental financial and political resources towards attainment of Federal Republic of Pan-Africa by the year 2032. I personally signed this document today, and I've released it to the relevant authorities, and particularly to the office of the President, and that of the Attorney General, because I've done it in the form of a legal document. To end that part, I would like to conclude by saying, ever since independence, viewers, besides the grim history that Africans had of slavery and colonization, the global free market capitalism has been the single biggest cause of the systematic socio-economic decline and to virtual collapse. Our economies are virtually collapsed. Our Kenyan national economy is virtually collapsed. It is inevitably, that is global capitalism, has inevitably led to the ever-rising unemployment, abject poverty, widespread squalor, and dereliction, among other chronic societal afflictions. We want to state here, without any iota of doubt, that in the status quo scheme of global things, no single African country, no, not one, would ever succeed economically, no matter how hard we try. Not even with an excellent leadership and management of public affairs would make the pathetic situation better. Furthermore, no amount of development partnership with the East, North, or West would make any difference. It is all futile. Therefore, this Federal Republic of Pan-Africa by 2032 is a do or die affair. It is non-negotiable. Actually, it is panacea. All what we may only discuss at this point is the modalities of establishing an interim leadership to spearhead the noble cause and the planning, coordination, and execution of the mission. In fact, the excellent leadership of a modern African state would be that leadership that embraced this wonderful idea of Pan-Africa and actually supported the pertinent mission. As I end this particular section, as you heard, viewer, it is a very big subject. And personally, I plan to travel to all the 8 regional communities of Africa. I'll read the list for you in the next program. You know, one of them is our East African community at Arusha. There is another one, COMESA in Lusaka. There is the Southern African Development Community, SADC. There is ECOWAS in West Africa. There is another one in North Africa. They are total in number 8. I would like to visit all those HQs with this very important message. And last but not least, I would also like to visit the African Union HQ at Addis Ababa. And based on that, viewer, I would humbly request for your assistance, for your sponsorship to travel, as well as to publish the book. You may send your generous contribution through my buy goods till number 4113864. That is buy goods and services till number 4113864. Or if you would like to M-Pesa direct to my phone number, the phone number is 0729 549 379. Both of them are registered under my name, Joel Kiprono Rob. Thank you very much, viewers. We shall take a short break and come back for the next session of this program.
You are watching Glory Wonders TV.
Litmat Enterprise ko tuget neoldo tugukab tekset cheterterchin ako cheikoegei kou yon imache ilelit kong'ung, imache ibarait kong'ung anan kimache itekse. Litmat komi yu akobo inye. Inyorchinigei tiles chebo inguni, Jameson, logisiek cheterterchin, tuguk chekiboisien en teksetab babisiek, rangik cheterterchin, Fesatiles, Saruji, MRM Mabati ak alak chechang. Inyorchei Litein Town alan ibirwe simoit konyo namba 0717 19 00 00 0717 19 00 00 alan isibet en www.litmatenterprises.go.ke. Litmat Enterprises, we deliver the best.
Litech Electronics ko tuget notet nemiten en taonitab Litein Pomori Plaza ground floor. Aldo ichek accessories cheterterchin kou Samsung Galaxy A, K ak Z. Simoishek chotet chebo Infinix kou Infinix Note series, Zero series ak Hot series ak alak chechang. Simoit notet nebo Camon kou Camon 40 ak Camon 30 ak alak chechang. Simoit notet nebo Redmi ak simoishek alak chechang. Anan imache hufaishek chotet chebo tiendo anan ko televisions chotet chebo kasari kou Vitron, TLC ak Samsung. En beit notet neitini. Inyorchinigei kora accessories cheu earphones, memory cards ak alak chechang. Ingitinye tebut age tugul, ibiru simoit konyo namba 0720 032 187 0720 032 187. Litech Electronics ko tuget notet neiyana.
Mungu ametusaidia akatupatia Glory Wonders TV.
Glory Wonders TV.
So unaweza ukasearch mahali ulipo kwa YouTube unatafuta Glory Wonders TV. Bado tutasimama tena kusupport hiyo Glory Wonders TV ikue kubwa katika jina la Yesu.
Glory TV asugoye.
So tutasimama na pesa yetu hata ingawa tumeona so bado tunahitaji vitu mingi, ili ndio unaona za zingine inakatika ni kwa sababu hatujamaliza kutengeneza kwa sababu ya pesa.
Na taogere kigere agongete amuntu magetarge chabe amuntu makengera bise.
So bado tutasimama. Sasa inaendelea. Inaendelea kwa kila kitu. Inaendelea kwa mahubiri. Inaendelea kwa nyimbo. Na kuendelea vipindi zitakuwa zimetengeneza. In Jesus name. Useme amen.
Amen.
Hiyo ni pesa yako ambayo umetoa kwa mfuko yako. Ukiangalia hii kazi ambayo inafanyika ni kwa sababu ya wewe. Ambia Mungu kwa ndani ya roho yako, asante Yesu. Maana kila mtu anasikia ujumbe hii kupitia runinga hiyo ya Glory Wonders TV because of you. Anasikia kwa sababu wewe ndiye umetoa.
You are watching Glory Wonders TV.
In the second part of this program, we shall go back to our revolution in tea industry in Kenya. The part we'll do today is to continue with the tail end of a monster that we mentioned yesterday in the evening. This tail end revolves around KTDA. The first question I want to ask ourselves this afternoon is, how are the tea farmers, small-scale tea farmers, paid? The small-scale tea farmers, wonderful viewer, are very badly paid. Take, for example, an average small-scale tea grower. They would have about 2 acres of tea. And if it is all mature tea, then in a good month, they pluck about 1,000 kilograms of green leaf in that 1 month. And KTDA pays them 15 shillings per kilo. So they would earn about 15,000 Kenya shillings. But if you look at the chain, starting from the collection point to the local factory, the lowest paid worker in the tea processing factory, a casual laborer, earns between 25,000 and 30,000 Kenya shillings. So that is almost double what this farmer owning 2 acres of tea bushes earns. And yet, this farmer is supposed to be the owner of the business. A friend of mine recently told me that a clerk, a tea collection clerk from KTDA, who is a friend of his, recently told him that you farmers, kumamigi nongene, agumamigi no nai, agumamigi no wa, agumobendi onai. There is nothing you belong, there's nothing you know, and you will never know. This friend of mine, who is a retired public servant, told me he was terribly hurt that comment, but it was coming from his friend. So at the same time, he was happy that his friend was being honest. When it comes to these payments, there is a catch called T-bonus in KTDA. It is only in KTDA where I've had bonus payments. I'm not an expert in economy or whatever, but usually when you sell things, you may sell them on credit, you may sell them, you may deliver them in advance, people pay at the end of the month or in 2 months' time, but you rarely hear something called bonus. In KTDA, people take, the organization takes the green leaf and they pay 15 shillings per kilo, and they say whatever else is over and above that 15,000, we pay at the end of the year in form of bonus. What actually they mean is that they are using this farmer and the produce of this farmer as some kind of an insurance for the business. So when they go and sell the produce abroad and business is good and they make good profit, then they come and declare part of it and tells the farmer, hey, your produce was worth a little bit more than what we paid, so we pay the difference as a bonus. That is a trick. In the process, they divert whatever else is on top of that profit. Now, what we are saying, we are beginning to say now as small-scale tea growers, and indeed their representatives, is that it is time now to say down with this bonus. If this green leaf is worth 100 shillings per kilo, then it is time you paid the farmer by all means 100 shillings per kilo. And that 2-acre farmer would be making around 100,000 Kenya shillings per month. And that would be reasonable in our state of economy. In this process of doing the farmer, of doing the bonus, these farmers have really been exploited by the organization and by the brokers in the international tea auction. We shall go into those subjects in detail in future programs. We want to run this program for the next several weeks. But away from bonus, we are also saying there is discrimination. We have in various regions, we have tea growers. The leading ones are here in Kericho, Bomet, and Nandi, and also in central Kenya, around the mountain, that is Kirinyaga, Murang'a, Nyeri, and the other side in Meru and Embu. There are great tea farmers there. Last year, for example, the tea farmers around the country were paid the same per month, that is 15 shillings per kilo. But when it came to bonus, the ones in central Kenya, in Mount Kenya region, received between 65 and 80 shillings per kilo in form of bonus, while those in the Rift Valley, west of Rift specifically, received something between 20 and 35 shillings. So you can see that difference. Those ones in central Kenya were getting this bonus all nearly 3 times that of Western Kenya. So we were interested to know, I was particularly interested to know what is the reason. They said the produce from West Kenya was lying in the warehouse in Mombasa, some of it for over 1 year. It had not been bought. Now, so again, we ask a further question. We are dealing with the same organization. They sold the tea from around Mount Kenya, and they did not sell the tea from west of Rift. Why did they do that? What were the anomalies? They might go on to talk about quality. But as we mentioned in our introduction, the quality across the country, if there is any difference, even for the experts that taste the tea, if there is going to be any difference in the price per kilo, it would be in the range of 2 shillings to 5 shillings, but certainly not 3 times the basic amount. So there is something more to it than the quality and the backlog in Mombasa. We want to say it is time to revolutionize. We want to revolutionize this industry. We said in our introduction that the world market is extremely good. So the farmers are really supposed to benefit. And we are not going to stop at anything until we succeed. Once more, precious viewers, this revolution in tea industry in Kenya is another big subject. I have written a book on it. And apart from wanting to reach the small-scale tea growers with this message through social media and through this wonderful station on air, YouTube, and Facebook, we also want to visit, actually, physically visit those areas, particularly to the tea buying centers. It would be wonderful if we gave each of the tea buying center committees a document summarizing the principles, the aims, principles, and objectives of this revolution in tea industry. Now, in order to do that, in west of Rift, we have growers in Kuresoi, particularly Kuresoi South. We have growers in Bomet County, several sub-counties in Bomet, Sotik, Bomet Central, and Konoin, of course. Nearly all the sub-counties in Kericho County. We would also like to reach all the farmers, small-scale tea growers in Nandi County. Now, in order to do that, to travel and send people and produce documents, again, we need money for this noble cause, and big money at that. So we want to ask again you viewers, and including the prominent tea farmers that you may know, to sponsor this initiative. Again, they may wish, you and they may wish to send your generous contributions through buy goods till number 4113864, buy goods till number 4113864, or directly M-Pesa to my phone number 0729 549 379. Both of them are registered. My name, Joel Kiprono Rob. As I finish this particular program, I would like again to welcome you viewers to my next show. That will be this next Friday between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. We shall follow the same approach. We shall blend some international, national and international pertinent issue with that of revolution in tea industry. Thank you, viewers, and have a wonderful afternoon. See you again.
Mungu
Tos kipsomaniat anan itinye lakwet nemokyingei kitabusiekab somanet, meimgei. Masterpiece Bookshop ko tugetab kitabusiek nemiten en taonitab Litein ole nekityin ak Quickmart Supermarket opposite Bomari Plaza asikotorun makutikuk. Nyorchingei kitabusiekab CBC, textbooks, setbooks, dictionaries, kitabusiekab nursing koboto bukuit netilil anan Bibles. Kora inyoru rim papers, calculators, computers, office furnitures, whiteboards, microscopes, ngoroik chebo ureriet koboto sport items ak alak chechang. Amanon kityo, kiyoe deliveries en sukulisiek koboto institution. Meutien ile kioldoi tuguk en wholesales koboto retail. Kora ketinye branch en taonitab Sotik opposite Kenya Power. Asinyoru chechang, ibirwe simoit en namba 0721 675 630 anan ko email at www.masterpiecebookshop.co.ke. Masterpiece Bookshop Limited, nyorchingei tuguk che lelach.
Litmat Enterprise ko tuget neoldo tugukab tekset cheterterchin ako cheikoegei kou yon imache ilelit kong'ung, imache ibarait kong'ung anan kimache itekse. Litmat komi yu akobo inye. Inyorchinigei tiles chebo inguni, chemsum, logisiek cheterterchin, tuguk chekiboisien en teksetab babisiek, rangik cheterterchin, Versatiles, saruji, M&M mabati ak alak chechang. Inyorchei Litein Town alan ibirwe simoit konyo namba 0717 19 00 00 0717 19 00 00 alan isibech en www.litmatenterprises.go.ke. Litmat Enterprises, we deliver the best.
Tos kipsomaniat anan itinye lakwet nemokyingei kitabusiekab somanet, meimgei. Masterpiece Bookshop ko tugetab kitabusiek nemiten en taonitab Litein ole nekityin ak Quickmart Supermarket opposite Bomari Plaza asikotorun makutikuk. Nyorchingei kitabusiekab CBC, textbooks, setbooks, dictionaries, kitabusiekab nursing koboto bukuit netilil anan Bibles. Kora inyoru rim papers, calculators, computers, office furnitures, whiteboards, microscopes, ngoroik chebo ureriet koboto sport items ak alak chechang. Amanon kityo, kiyoe deliveries en sukulisiek koboto institution. Meutien ile kioldoi tuguk en wholesales koboto retail. Kora ketinye branch en taonitab Sotik opposite Kenya Power. Asinyoru chechang, ibirwe simoit en namba 0721 675 630 anan ko email at www.masterpiecebookshop.co.ke. Masterpiece Bookshop Limited, nyorchingei tuguk che lelach.